Hello, everyone. How are you today? I am going to talk to you today about inspiration and action. They go together. Very, very important. Inspiration and action. Hi, I'm Kelly Lee Sappenfield. I'm a fifth generation metaphysician, soul evolution coach, speaker, and author. For those of you who do not know me. And today we're going to talk about inspiration and action. When Spirit gives us that spark of inspiration, that idea, that thought, that feeling, that, ooh, yeah, I would love to do that. That would be cool. They're not giving it to you just so that you can have that thought and then let it go. They're giving it to you because you can do it. They want you to do it. It's part of the reason you're here is to make that come to fruition. Now, sometimes you're like, oh man, that would be so cool. But yeah, I would have absolutely no idea how to do that. So it must be for someone else to do. It's not true. Whenever we get an inspired thought, an inspired idea, however you want to word it, that's Spirit knocking on your shoulder and saying, hey, go for this, do this, be this. And that's where the action part comes in. Because once we get that inspired idea and we think about it and we mull it over, then we have to take action to make it a reality, to claim it as ours, to declare that, hey, this great idea I have, this great, whether it's something physical to invent, whether it's a book to write, whether it's a piece of art to paint or to draw, or whatever it could be. It could be to engineer a new type of carburetor for a car. I'm not mechanic, so don't ask me about that. But anyway, it doesn't matter what it is. When you get that inspired thought, take note. If you need to, write it down. And as you come on, say hi and tell me where you're from. So when we get those thoughts and we get that inspiration and we take note, then we take action. And it could be researching. Let's say you're already an artist and you have an inspiration or a thought or an idea about a new piece of art. Maybe it's a new medium of art you have not done in the past. And you might have to research a little bit to learn a little bit about it. Maybe it's writing a book and you've never written more than a page or two in your life except for in school. And you need research on how to become an author and how to write a book in the publishing industry, right? It could be that you want to open a business and you need to research about opening that type of business and the legalities of it and what you need to have in place and if it's going to sell goods, how to get to market, to buy those goods at wholesale, all of that stuff, right? But that's taking action. So when we have that inspired thought and we follow it with action, Spirit comes in and opens the doors, introduces us to people that we need to meet, and gives us the opportunities to make that inspired thought a reality. Einstein even said, everything starts with an idea. Everything starts with a thought. It's the difference between the doers and the wishers, and you've heard me say this before, are the people that take action. When we get that inspired thought, it's not like, oh man, that would be so cool. And then we let it go. And sometimes that inspired thought could be, I want to travel to this locale. And that's weird because I've never really had a desire to go there before. You don't know why Spirit gives you necessarily your inspired ideas and thoughts, but they don't give them willy-nilly. They don't just give you an inspiration That's not for you. They're not going to give me an inspiration about airplane engines and about how airplanes work or how they fly or anything like that. They'll give it to my husband. He's the airplane engine guru in the family, not me. You would not want me going anywhere near an airplane engine, trust me. So they're not going to give me the inspired idea. They're going to give it to him. They're not going to give me an inspired idea about running a restaurant. It's not my forte. They're going to give me the inspired idea to do a Facebook Live about inspired ideas and thoughts. They're going to give me an inspiration about writing a book. They're going to give me the things that are for me to do. We all have our wheelhouses. The joke around my house is one thing that is not in my wheelhouse is sewing, any way, shape, or form. You don't want me to even attempt to put on a button because it'll just fall off. I don't know what I do wrong. My home ec teacher in 7th grade said, God made tailors for people like you. There's nothing wrong with that. God made tailors for people like you. And I have embraced that philosophy ever since because that's true. We all have our wheelhouses. We're not all to do everything, right? And so if I need something tailored, I go to a tailor. If I need a button sewn on, I take it to a tailor. If I need my website updated, I go to my web lady and I say, okay, can you do this on my website? Because I'm not the tech guru either. I admit what's in my wheelhouse and what's not in my wheelhouse. And when it's not in my wheelhouse, I go to those that it is. So when you get an inspired thought, it's in your wheelhouse. It's in your capabilities to manifest, to bring to fruition. It's up to you, though, to then take the inspired actions to manifest it, to bring it into reality. And sometimes along the way, that first inspired thought was just to get you started. And it morphs over time. And you get more inspired thoughts. And where you thought you were going, maybe it ends up going over here. It doesn't matter. What matters is when spirit talks, you listen and you act. And the more you listen and the more you act, the more you hear spirit talking and the more you get those things that you want in life. The more you manifest. The more you manifest and the more you're living in within that inspired action, the happier you are, the more connected you are, things go smoother in life. When things go awry, you're like, okay, and you can move on. You don't get stuck when those things happen. And normally in the past, when you weren't connected, when you weren't tuned in and turned on and living actively, you would have gotten stuck or overwhelmed and you're just thrown in the towel, right? So first we get the inspiration. And sometimes I don't know what it is about showers, but let me know if this is you. I can be in the shower and it's like, wow, inspiration, thought, idea, woo, right? And by the time you get out of the shower, you're like, now what was that? Little clue. They make these, it's kind of like a dry erase board, but for the shower. So you can write those inspired thoughts down while you're in the shower. And if you're not in the shower, let's say you're driving down the road, hit record on your telephone and say, hey, this is what I just thought of. This is an idea. Keep track of them. You'll notice there's a theme because, like I said, Spirit's going to give you what's in your wheelhouse to do. They're not going to give you the idea on how to help airline engine blades if you're not into power plant work yourself, right? So think about those ideas you've had. Start writing them down, or if you don't want to write them down, start writing them or saying them into your phone. Keep a log. Uh, I was talking to a lady and she was like, I've never written a book, but I know I'm supposed to write a book, but I don't know what to do. And I get all these ideas and thoughts. But then by the time I try to go and write them down or type them down or whatever, I said, God gave you that phone. Spirit gave you that phone. Use that phone, hit record, start talking. You may edit it once you go to dictate it or have it dictated. It doesn't matter. Because our brains work faster than our hands when we're writing, right? At least mine do. And so sometimes you need to sit there and just record yourself on your phone. Just pick up your phone, hit record, and start talking. It works. Let me tell you. Done it, done it, done it, done it, done it. And sometimes those inspired thoughts really scare the bejeebies out of us. It's like, that's huge. That's big. That's like life transforming. And I don't know that I'm ready for that. You didn't get the inspiration if you're not ready. And remember, it's not like it's going to manifest and become reality today. It's going to take baby steps, and you're going to work at it and work at it and work at it. And over time, you will be the person that is ready for it to manifest. You will be the person that is at the vibration of that inspired idea. And guess what? You'll get more inspirational ideas, and you'll take more action, and you'll take more action, and you'll take more action. And all of a sudden you start noticing these doors that you never saw, never felt anything open up. You'll start meeting people that will say, oh my gosh, I know exactly how to do that. Or I know the person you need to talk to, right? But every inspiration is given to you for a reason. So own it. You're worth it. If you're on this planet, you are divine creation. And by being divine creation, you're automatically worth it. There's nothing divine that is unworthy. So if you have those thoughts of, well, who am I? Right? Who am I to do that? I'm just this little person. I'm not this big celebrity or politician or royalty or anything else. So who am I? You're you. You're uniquely you. And that's why you were given the inspirational thought and idea, because it's yours and you are equal to anyone else. I don't care who they are, if they're famous or not famous. No one is more divinely created than anyone else. Now we have our different vibrational levels, but that doesn't greater or lessen our divinity. So when you start thinking of those inspired thoughts and they seem overwhelming and like, who am I? Take a deep breath and say, evidently, I'm the one that's supposed to do this. Evidently, this is the direction I'm supposed to be going, grow. This is the direction that's going to give me what I want and things that I don't even know I want yet. Right? Because think about it. When you're in your 20s, you have the worldview of a 20 something, right? And you want certain things. You don't want those same things necessarily when you're in your 40s or 50s or 60s or 80s, right? We morph, we change, we develop, we evolve, and we're supposed to. So your inspired thought in your 20s is for you in your 20s. Your inspired thought in your 50s is for you in your 50s. It's not you don't have this inspired thought to hand it off to someone else. Now, you may bring other people in, but there's a difference between bringing other people in and handing it off. When you hand it off, you're telling Spirit, sorry, I'm just going to sit here and keep being exactly where I am because I don't like change. I don't like getting out of my comfort zone. And I'm just going to sit here and be exactly where I am. And chances are complaining about it too. So every time you give me an inspired idea and thought, I'm not going to act on it. And then instead of getting those inspirational poofs, aha moments, right? You start coming up against brick walls. The Spirit's like, you're not listening. You're not growing. You're not evolving. You're not doing what you're here to do. And so if we can't get your attention one way, we're going to get your attention another way. Trust me, been there, done that. Doesn't work out very well. And so when you have those inspirational aha moments, think of it like setting a fire to your energy to get up and get moving. And don't put that fire out. Keep feeding that flame and keep feeding it and keep feeding it and keep feeding it. Because if they gave you the idea, they gave you the aha, oh my gosh, moment, it's yours to do. And they'll be your partner in creating it and making sure it becomes a reality. You've got your peeps there to use, your guides, your angels, all of it. Lost loved ones that are on the other side of the veil, they're all there. Put them to work. I put mine to work all the time. Hey, peeps, come on, do this, do that, do this. Don't be bossy. You should be too. They're there for you to help you. So put them to work. If it's okay, you told me to do this, I did it. Now it needs to go to the next step. Hello, come on, bring it on, bring it on. What are you waiting for? Right? So when you get that inspired thought, act. Act, act, act. Keep acting on it, keep acting on it, keep asking for the next step, for the inspiration to be shown what you need to do. Be putting that energy towards it becoming a reality. Whatever you need to do, you keep asking and they'll keep answering. And the more you keep asking and the more they keep answering and the more you keep acting on it, the louder and easier it is for you to hear them. And so when something out of the blue happens, you know it's a message. You know there's no coincidences. You know you didn't open up your phone and see something all of a sudden for no reason. It's there for you to see it. So pay attention. I want you to live your most inspired life. I've ignored when I was younger. I had all the excuses in the world, even growing up in a metaphysical household, on why to ignore everything, right? And just do what I thought I needed to do and what I wanted to do, and all the excuses of why that's the way it needed to be. And Spirit kept knocking on my shoulder harder and harder and harder, trying to get me to listen, and I refused to. And that's when I got really sick in my 30s. And that's when I had my first near-death experience in my 30s. You do not have to be as bullheaded as I was about not listening and have all the excuses in the world of why not to listen. We lived in small town Kansas. It would adversely affect my husband's career, my son in school, you name it, I had the excuse. You don't have to follow that example. Instead, follow the example of what I've done since I died that first time. And that is when Spirit speaks, I listen and I act. Because I know. And I was blatantly told when I was on the other side of the veil, you were put here for a reason. This is why you were here. This is the work you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. Now go and do it or stay over here. But if you go back, you've got to do what you came here to do. And what I came here to do is to help you come do what you came here to do. That's my purpose. That's my passion, is to help you do what you came here to do in this lifetime. So get those aha moments and grab a hold of them. Grab a hold of them like you never grabbed a hold of anything else before in your life. And act on it today, now. Okay? In the meantime, keep expecting miracles, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.